So good evening and everyone, and welcome to today's session. This is the second session about AI research, which is a series of webinar we're presenting in our research listserv at IVPN network. So before I introduce our speaker, I would like to remind you, esteemed audience, to interact, submit your question, and I will try to get to all of them on this meeting. And during the presentation, I wish that all of us would be focused on the presentation, and then I would take a peek at all of your questions and then answer them during the Q&A segment. So try to write your questions in the Q&A segment, and I will be following them and answering them after the presentation. So if I do not get to all of you and your questions because of the limited time, I will be personally emailing you after the webinar to get an answer to you and follow up with this webinar. So I would like also to remind all of you that a recorded version of this webinar will be available on our IVPN library as soon as possible. So now I will enthusiastically present Dr. Helen Shammas. So Dr. Helen Shammas is a Lebanese pharmacist, health and environmental consultant. She's an Innov Health and AI technology specialist who worked in life insurance and pharmaceutical companies. And she is also specialized in the healthcare sector, where she aims to achieve balance in social and economic and environment sustainability through contributing in policy making and legislation. Dr. Helen is also the founder of Helen Pharma, and it's a business about like that includes skincare products, and she's very active in that. So she actively talks about market access, product development, data analysis and management, operational marketing plans, and customized solution, and many more. So for that, Dr. Helen is here with us today to share her perspective about the impact of AI on pharmaceutical industry. Dr. Helen, the floor is yours.
Yes, hello. Thank you, Emna, for this introduction. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for hosting me in this webinar series. Very interesting because, as we all know, that artificial intelligence is the future. So I will be talking about the impact of artificial intelligence on the pharmaceutical industry. Artificial intelligence is having a profound impact on the pharmaceutical industry. The impact is on the drug discovery and development, the clinical trials, the manufacturing, and the marketing. So in this presentation, I'll be talking about these four sectors that are affected by the artificial intelligence. First, let's start with the drug discovery and development. AI is accelerating the drug discovery process by helping researchers to identify new drug targets, design more effective drug candidates, and predict their safety and effectiveness. How this is done? This is done by three major ways. First of all, by analyzing large data sets of biomedical data. AI algorithm can analyze massive data set of biomedical data, including genetic information, protein structures, and clinical trial data to identify patterns and correlation that may indicate potential drug targets. As for example, AI algorithm can be used to identify genes that are mutated in cancer cells or overexpressed in cancer cells, or proteins that are involved in the development of certain diseases such as Alzheimer's disease. These genes that are mutated in a particular disease could then be investigated as potential drug targets. And the proteins that are overexpressed or underexpressed in a disease state, this protein could also be potential drug. Another approach to using AI is to identify new drug target is to use AI algorithms to building
Dr. Shammas, we're not hearing you. Can you, yes, can you unmute yourself, please?
So
yes,
you did not hear me.
It's okay. We're hearing.
You did not hear all the presentation?
No, just the previous one, please.
Okay. So I don't know, so I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
So these models can be used to identify key proteins that are involved in cancer cell growth and division. These proteins could then be investigated as potential drug targets for cancer. Third way is by simulating biological process. AI can be used to simulate biological processes such as protein-protein interaction. This can help scientists to identify new drug targets, predict drug interaction that may not be obvious from experimental data. Here we reach some specific example of how AI is being used to identify a new drug target. There are three machines. Deep learning algorithms are being used first. Deep learning algorithms are being used to identify new drug target by analyzing large data sets of biomedical data. For example, a deep learning algorithm was used to identify a new drug target of Parkinson's disease, Probicol. It was an existing anti-cholesterol medicine. It increases mitochondrial waste and visible novel therapy for the treatment of Parkinson's disease. And here the artificial intelligence software was from IBM. Second way is the machine learning algorithm are being used to identify new drug target by analyzing biological networks. For example, a machine learning algorithm was used to identify a new drug target for Alzheimer's disease. And here I would like to give an example of Dr. Chang, who was a Harvard professor. According to Dr. Chang, to understand the whole landscape, we need to understand the whole picture. That means that he uses AI to tease apart massive data into a network model to provide crystal clear picture of the entire upstream events, showing which upstream genes coordinately control important downstream genes. With that model, they were able to pinpoint the upstream event, showing the downstream genes that were amyloid plaque and the tau tangles downstream. So according to them, these upstream genes may be better target for potential therapies if deactivating these genes significantly changes the level of the downstream genes that were the amyloid plaque and the tau tangle. Then this is a validated target to develop treatment for Alzheimer's disease. So once the genes targets are identified, the next step is to find a drug that will hit those targets. Here, Dr. Chang from Harvard, in collaboration with the FDA, they used 3D computer models to determine if existing molecules in the drug might fit into potential drug targets, like a lock into a key. The accelerating effect of AI is here not studying one gene by one gene. It's 6,000 targets all at the same time, which will significantly accelerate drug development and discovery. Here, the team reached to narrow 3,000 drug candidates of interest. And here, what we call repurposing FDA-approved drug for Alzheimer's disease. We reach the third way is through natural language processing, the NLP algorithm. NLP algorithms are being used to identify new drug targets by analyzing the scientific literature, such as scanning literature and other textual resources systematically and exhaustively to identify and validate relationships between these entities. For example, an NLP algorithm was used to identify a new drug target for cancer. Do you have any question, or I proceed?
Dr. Shamas, is after you. Do you want to receive questions during your presentation or after you finish?
No, but no, of course, I prefer at the end, but if there is a specific question about what I just said, I don't mind.
Okay, so for that, I would like to invite the participants to just open their mic and ask a direct question to Dr. Helen, if any.
Okay, I cannot see the screen, so if there is any question, I will be pass it on.
Thank you.
Okay. So here, let's continue with like a smaller break with a smaller story. Back in 1968, a novel and film, when the artificial intelligence system HAL killed its spaceship's astronaut. More than 5 decades after the science fiction film introduced the world to first, like we said, naughty AI, in reality, the nickname HAL refers to a different kind of killer. Here, not the human, but of bacteria. Why? Because the Massachusetts Institute of Technology used artificial intelligence to discover an antibiotic capable of killing E. coli. E. coli, and this is with an antibiotic to the resistant strain E. coli. And they name it Halicin after HAL 9000, HAL 9000 of the movie. This discovery paints a picture of just how rapid AI-assisted drug discovery. The procedure is very simple and complicated. Scientists here trained their AI model by introducing to it approximately 2,500 molecules. 1,700 were FDA approved and 800 natural products. Once the researcher trained the model to understand which molecules could kill E. coli, then the team came up with 6,000 compounds, including existing drug, failed drug, natural product, and a variety of other compounds. This is a groundbreaking discovery because antibiotic-resistant superbugs are a major, as we all know, are a major public health issue that traditional methods have largely failed to address. And we can recall that past analysis showed that between the early 1990 and the late 2000, the typical drug discovery and development process took like 12 years and more. In the case of Halicin, the MIT team used AI that can test more than 100 million chemical compounds over the course of only few days. So definitely this tells us that molecular science is really a good place to apply machine learning and to use the new technology. So AI not only accelerates the drug discovery process, but spurs significant advancement in the medical field and holds the potential to improve patient outcomes and facilitate more precise treatment methods, since it can analyze large volumes of patient data and genetics. Here we reach the importance of AI in personalized treatment plan and predict the effectiveness. Personalized medicines is fantastic opportunity to take one-size-fits-all approach to turn it into individualized approach. In general, the goals of personalized medication are to align the treatment with the unique patient profile and to improve patient's drug response and diminish treatment adverse effect by matching the ideal drug and dosage established by a patient's genetic makeup. When we talk about patient genetic makeup, we mean genetics and lifestyle treatment, which may enable clinicians to tailor dosages to the needs of individuals' patients. We know that we are all similar, but we are also different, and the medicine can't be applied anymore as one size fits all. If we can't apply one size fits all in fashion, so how are we still applying it in medicines? Can you imagine going to a shoe store buying any old pair of shoes without checking the size? So this is the importance of AI in the pharmaceutical industry. Here are some examples of how AI has been used over last years to identify new drug targets. In 2019, researchers used AI to identify a new drug target for Alzheimer's disease. The new target is a protein called tau, which is involved in the formation of plaques in the brain. In 2020, researchers used AI to identify a new drug target for the famous COVID-19. The target is a protein called the main protease, which is essential for the virus to replicate. In 2021, the researchers used AI to identify a new drug target for cancer. The target is a protein called KRAS, which is mutated in many different types of cancer. Genomic is playing a big role in the emergence of personalized medicines, a molecular way to go into those differences between us and allows the opportunity for making individual predictions about disease risk, help somebody to choose a prevention plan that is right for them, picking the right drug at the right dose for the right person. Lots of work to do here, but the biggest revolution in medicine is to find our complete genomes being sequenced and placed into our medical records to empower that kind of personalized approach. Example of personalized medicines include the target therapies indicated for the treatment of a human epidermal growth factor receptor 2 positive breast cancer and the tumor marker testing to diagnose cancer. Other examples include recent approvals of personalized medicine for treatment of familial hypercholesterolemia and the treatment of generalized myasthenia gravis. Recent report from Personalized Medical Coalition, PMC, note that personalized medicine now account for more than 1 of every 4 drugs the FDA has approved since 2014. In general, the goals of personalized medication, as we said, is to align the treatment with the unique patient profile. That's why it's very important to, in the countries, in dispensing the medicine, to follow the 2G barcode, and each patient to have a unique patient code and a unique patient profile. So here we are just talking about a few examples of the many ways that AI is being used to identify new drug targets. As AI continues to develop, it is expected to play an even greater role in the drug discovery process and the precision medicines. Now we reach the impact of AI on the clinical trial. Artificial intelligence can help in clinical trial in a number of ways, including optimizing a clinical trial design. AI can be used to analyze large data set of clinical trial data to identify patterns in the correlation that can be used to optimize clinical trial design. For example, AI can be used to identify the optimal number of patients needed in a trial, the best way to allocate patients to different treatment groups, and the most important endpoints to measure. Second, identifying the right patients for trial. To identify patients who are most likely to benefit from a particular drug candidates, this can help to reduce the number of patients needed in clinical trials and accelerate the drug development process. Then third, monitoring patient safety. For example, AI can be used to analyze patient data, including vital signs, laboratory results, and imaging data to identify patients who are at risk of serious side effects. Last but not least, analyzing clinical trial data. AI algorithm can be used to identify patterns and the trends in the data that may be difficult or impossible for humans to detect. This can help researchers to better understand the safety and efficacy of new treatments. As an example, according to Reuters, Big Pharma bets on AI to speed up clinical trials. How? First, by find patients for clinical trial quickly. Second, reduce number of patients needed to test medicine. Both accelerate drug development and potentially saving millions of dollars. As human studies are the most expensive and time-consuming part of a drug development, as it can take years to recruit patients in a process that can cost over billions of dollars. Pharmaceutical companies, executives, drug regulators, public health experts, and AI firms show that the technology is playing a sizable and growing role in human drug trials. Companies such as Amgen, Bayer, Novartis are training AI to scan billions of public health records, prescription data, medical insurance claim, and the internal data to find trial patients. FDA said it had received about 300 applications that incorporate AI in drug development from 2016 through 2022. 90% of these applications came in the past 2 years, and most of them were to use AI at some point in the clinical development stage. As for example, before AI, Amgen would spend months sending surveys to doctors to ask whether a clinical or hospital had patients which are relevant to clinical and demographic characteristics to participate in a trial, and not to know that here some decisions were biased according to existing relationships with facilities or doctors. And moreover, 80% of studies miss their recruitment target because clinics and hospitals overestimate the number of available patients, and there are high dropout rates or patients don't adhere to trial protocol. So now Amgen are using AI tool, a machine called Atomic. It scans troves of internal and public data to identify and rank clinics and doctors based on past performance in recruiting patients for trials. Amgen informed Reuters that enrolling patients for mid-stage trial could take up 80 months, but Atomic machine can cut that in half in the best case scenario. And Amgen has already used Atomic machine in handful of trials testing, including cardiovascular disease and cancer, and aims to use it for most studies in 2024. Noting that by 2030, AI have helped shave 2 years of the decade or more it typically takes to develop a drug. Now, for Novartis, uses also AI as a tool to make enrolling patients in trials faster, cheaper, and more efficient, according to their head of global development operations. But he mentioned also that AI in this situation is only as good as the data it gets. So that's very important in our countries that we have the healthcare data all homogeneous. Bayer said it used AI in the in the external control arms to cut the number of participants needed by several thousand for a late stage trial. And we all know that the late stage trial, it tests the safety of the drug. And it used it for asundexian, an experimental drug designed to reduce the long-term risk of strokes. How it happened? It used AI to link the mid-stage trial result to real-world data for millions of patients to predict the long-term risk in a population similar to the trial. So the latest stage, we were not using real patients. We were mining the data. Armed with the data, Bayer started the late stage trial with fewer patients. And without AI, Bayer said it would have spent millions more and taken up to 9 months to recruit volunteers. According to senior principal scientist at Roche, the advantage of AI was it let scientists examine real-world patient data quickly and at scale. What you can learn manually through data from 5,000 patients, now we can learn those same things for millions of patients in days. We will be hearing a lot talking about extra control arm techniques. So that's why I'm going to open a smaller bracket to explain it more. External control arm trial uses existing patient level data to create a cohort of patients to use as a comparator arm or supplement an existing randomly allocated control arm that mimic the characteristic of a randomly controlled trial. When to consider this? We consider it in rare indication with high need and when RCTs are unethical or unfeasible. For an example, Amgen used the external control arm trial designed to treat a rare form of leukemia. received the US approval after adopting this approach. Although the company had to conduct a follow-up study to confirm the drug's benefit once it was safe. And the drug is named Blancito. Regulators, however, say that although AI has the potential to augment the clinical trial process, evidentiary for a drug safety and effectiveness, it will not change. So that's why in the word, what we said that not the old-fashioned analytics, but the conventional analytics, for them, the main risk with AI are that we want to make sure we don't get the wrong answer to the question of whether a drug works. Here we come to the AI in manufacturing, the effect of AI in manufacturing. As we see that AI is still in its early stages of development, but it's already having a significant impact on clinical trial. As AI continues to develop, it's expected to play an even greater role in the clinical trial process. So that's why now the pharmaceutical industry, they are applying more and more AI in their manufacturing because it improves operational efficiency and cost reduction. AI-powered tools and automation help hospitals and healthcare facilities to optimize process and reduce administrative work. Here are some specific examples of how AI is being used in drug manufacturing today. AI-powered predictive maintenance. This information can be used to schedule preventive maintenance and avoid costly downtime. AI-powered quality control. This can help to improve the quality of product and reduce the risk of recalls. AI-powered supply chain management. This can help to reduce cost and improve efficiency. Even greater role in the manufacturing process. And here are some additional benefits of using AI in drug manufacturing. It can improve safety. AI can help to improve safety in the workplace by identifying potential hazards and risk. AI can also be used to develop new safety procedures and training programs. Increase productivity by automating tasks and improving the efficiency of manufacturing processes. Enhanced innovation by generating new ideas and the solution. AI can also be used to develop new products. Artificial intelligence, the fourth sector in using AI in the pharmaceutical industry. Artificial intelligence can help in the marketing of drug in a number of ways, including identifying target audiences. This information can be used to target marketing campaigns more effectively and reach the right patient with the right message. Personalizing marketing messages. This can help to make marketing messages more relevant and engaging and increase the likelihood of patients taking action. Optimizing marketing campaigns. For example, AI can be used to identify which marketing channels are most effective and which messages are resonating most with patients. Measuring the impact of marketing campaigns. For example, AI can be used to track how many patients are visiting the company website, downloading product brochures, or scheduling appointments with their doctors. Overall, AI has the potential to make drug marketing more efficient, effective, and patient-centric. AI-powered solution can help to reach the right patients with the right message at the right time, improve the return on investment of marketing campaign, and increase patient satisfaction. So no question?
So far, no questions, but I still want to encourage our participants to write down their questions on the chat box. Otherwise, we can just wait until Dr. Helen finishes her presentation, and you can just jump in and ask your question using your mic.
Okay, here I'm concluding and saying for you that because whenever we talk about artificial intelligence, we jump and we said, so the AI or the robot are going to replace the human being. Well, for me, no, because as we see, all these four major impact of artificial intelligence on pharmaceutical industry will definitely lead to healthcare workforce transformation, augmenting healthcare professionals' capabilities to potentially displacing certain roles, need for upskilling and retraining to ensure a smooth transition and effective collaboration between humans and artificial intelligence. I want to thank you for your listening. And in our next webinar, we'll be talking about the regulatory challenges and policy frameworks necessary to ensure the safe and responsible adoption of AI in healthcare.
Thank you, Dr. Helen. Thank you so much for this very informative presentation. And I will open the floor for our audience to ask questions. Please feel free just to jump in and join us into a live conversation.
At least you can give me a feedback about the presentation.
In my personal opinion, I can say this is one of the most outstanding presentations I've ever attended to regarding AI, because it's still a new topic that's gaining interest in the pharmaceutical field. And yes, I follow you, Dr. Shamas, and would say that no, AI will not be replacing us. It will be helping us to give more and to provide a quality service. And personally, I'm working on several projects in order to investigate the use of the of artificial intelligence and machine learning in order to predict, for example, near-term or long-term risk of cardiovascular disease and cancers. And this will help us eventually to predict risks and then to give the soonest and the more appropriate guidance and support and clinical assistance to our patients. So this will increase our, like you said, our proper efficiency, and I think it's a very useful tool we're trying to adapt right now. Yes, Samah has wanted to. Yes, Samah, the presentation will be shared. The record will be shared on the IVPN library very soon, so you can be able to see the whole presentation. Meanwhile, you can ask your questions in the chat box. So Samah Ibrahim is saying, thank you very much, Dr. Shamas. She joined the second half of the presentation, and she already enjoyed this concise PowerPoint. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. I hope that you enjoy it and you take away with you good information. I tried as much as I can to insert example, but putting an example on how exactly artificial intelligence is working in the pharmaceutical industry, it takes a lot of discussion and a lot of details. So I tried as much as I can to narrow them down to the most important one.
And so you did. Thank you, Dr. Shamar.
Thank you.
Any questions? Please open your mics if you are not able to write from the chat box. Amal Al-Qasim is thanking you as well, Dr. Shamar. And I would also like to highlight that the certificates, the attendance certificates will be shared with you via emails. So please write down your email on the chat for those who didn't.
Okay.
I think the PowerPoint and the presentation were like clear enough. And I would like to thank you, Dr. Shamas, and we always would like to have you in future presentations on the
Thanks
same or else.
Thank you, and keep on this good work.
Of course. So with that, I would like also to continue hearing from you, audience. And any question you would like to ask later after running the record, the presentation record, you can just send them by email, and I will make sure to answer all of your questions. We will be waiting to have you on our upcoming sessions. Stay tuned, and see you next time.
Thank you. Ken, thank you, and goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.